I'm going to try this again. Okay, hold on. This is Margaret Ann Windsor. I can't do it. It's just not going up. I might as well stop. This thing, he deliberately gave this to me. Okay, this is too much. I was going to take it back because it doesn't work, and I think the fella knew. I'm in tune to what, what's being done, going on, believe me. But anyway, I don't have the receipt, so I can't take it back. See if I can get it. Excuse me, I'll take up half the time on the... I wanted to put this up this morning, and I was putting this up last because I heard about it last night, and I'm not sure that this is gonna... Well, anyway, bear with me. For some reason, I want to get my face on you rather than just my nose. It's not a very... Anyway. The little girl, it's the timing, too. It's a little girl that was kidnapped, and her parents were killed. It was in Wisconsin, I believe, because they found her in Wisconsin last night. I guess it was yesterday. And they're telling about it in the night and this morning, and on all the networks and everything. And they were looking for the daughter. The parents were killed. I'm going to reiterate on this, though, in patterns. Wisconsin's where my mother was born, Madison, Wisconsin, my mom was married to Edward VIII, who never married Wallace Simpson. That was a lie. Total takedown of a beautiful man. Honest. Look what history has been allowed to continue to do to him. My mom's sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe, and the artist. The O'Keeffes were wealthy to a degree in their own right. After my mom married my dad, and they took him down and used a double to marry Wallace Simpson and became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor, they got rid of the photographs, put up phony photographs of my mom, if you find any. I don't want to elaborate. You can understand how much power when they control your press from way back then. Nobody's told about this about me. I was in a political campaign, and Larry Flint was shot. I was writing about mind control, the Tesla files that were stolen in 30. I'd worked for doctors, and I was telling about programming people, like to program the man that shot George Wallace, the governor of Alabama, when he ran for president, Laurel, Maryland. Okay, you get into Lina Dempsey, mother of the twins, where I was taken by JFK. His father was appointed ambassador to England in 1936 by Roosevelt, the president, a Jew, for the sole purpose of taking my father down. He would not follow orders given by the Illuminati or Freemason, the Mafia, so they took him down. And that allowed the United Nations, your global government, to be formed that sits there in New York City with Rockefeller headquarters, the UN. Now that's your global government they speak of in the Bible. Now then, I probably lost my train of thought here trying to go back and forth. Anyway, the patterns had to do with, like, I worked for the district attorney Simpson I'm just showing you a glimpse of them, but you have to know how to put it together. I worked for Fred Simpson after they almost killed me April Fool Day of 80, and I was illegal. I lived, I guess you call it living. I was taken across the state line by Lina Dempsey, mother of the twins, where they put me in 41 at age 2, when they kidnapped me from my mom and dad. And they had taken my mom and dad down, and they were having Wallace Simpson married to my father and him abdicating, which is a lie. Without going into it, I am the legal heir the minute I was born. There were papers drawn up to ensure if my father had an heir, the heir would inherit. And it's all legal. But taking me back and getting it enforced is another question, because this country controls everything British. The whole point, I hate to say that, but stop and think about it. Really, really do. Okay. They have the military bases underneath Great Britain, Australia Area 51, which they claim they didn't even have here in the United States, but it's been proven they do. So you follow me. Anyway, this girl, her name is Jamie, and she got loose somehow yesterday, and I suppose it was very cold where she was, and she had to travel evidently a little bit. I don't know how she got there on foot or what, and found her aunt who lived somewhere nearby. And it's all over television this morning. And she's from Wisconsin, where my mom. So you're getting the gist. The district attorney I worked for was Simpson, as in Wallace Simpson was supposed to marry my father, and it's a lie. She married a double, and they took my father down. And my mom was from Madison, Wisconsin. Simpson, the DA, was district attorney of Madison County, Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, NASA Space Center. Now then, this little girl's name was Jamie, Jayme, and I hope and pray I'm not doing the wrong thing putting this up. I don't want to hurt anybody that tried to help me. I'm just going to put her spelling is the female, obviously, of Jamie. Jamie, or Jameson. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm so hoping this will be told. So it's all over the press today that they found her and everything. I wanted to get back to something when I was almost killed in April Fool Day of 80 again. My husband knew things that were going to happen. He really did. So where was he? In the middle? He's playing good guy, bad guy. Like, I wonder what's going on up here now with Trump and Pelosi and Schumer, Chucky boy. I hope Trump's the good guy. I really do. As far as Pelosi and Chucky boy, you're going to get what you get if you keep letting them get away with it. It's almost like she's running for president. And she's controlling everything, her and this Schumer fella. Anyway, I'm not going to get in that again on this. I wanted to put this up. I put up about Victor Gonzalez, and he's still in practice, the last I heard, in Atlanta. And his son went to medical school, and he's in practice. He's a doctor. So they've done pretty well, considering. Now, I've put the background on how he was at Parkland in Dallas when Jeff K., who helped kidnap me, take down my dad, and do these things to my children when they were born. Maybe he didn't, but he helped orchestrate it, and he was still alive when one of my sons was born. Now, before I lose my train of thought here, trying to put it together, I guess I have already here. My husband knew something was going to happen later on. He knew about Clarence Kelly. Okay, so I get this right. And I'm telling this because I hope the Watergate Commission is reconvened, is forced to be, and told the truth to the world about what was done in this whole mess and what was being done to me and I am Victoria II, the legal heir to the British Crown as I sit here. Elizabeth is illegal. She works for the Illuminati. Her father, George VI, at least they say that's who her father is. Winston Churchill is a possibility. The pipe, cigar-smoking thug made these people out to be the good guys when they're criminals to the core. Now, don't let me lose my train of thought and people knock at the door and tell me to shut up. I live where motel. On the Watergate tapes is where Victor Gonzalez, and I put this up, had drugged me. And it was after I saw something and a week or two earlier, and I don't know what was done to me. I remember Kathy, after I saw it, um, he was hitting me, and she said, "Don't hit her." Anyway, what I remember, it was getting dark and being taken out, and I couldn't walk. I was drugged by him out and put in the car, my car. Somehow I made it. It was foggy. I didn't know where I was going. It was just like this fog. I ended up, and I put this up, I realized, into Terrell Mill. And by the way, that is where Warren and Rosina Matthews were gunned down and killed. And it was prosecuted in Cobb County, Marietta, where I was doing the book, and lived and got the letter from the FBI. And that connected to Piedmont Hospital there, and later the death of Gene Schrokerman and Hardiman, and who was a psychiatrist at the hospital. The connections get weird here. I can't get into them all. And who were some of the others? Anyway, she was gunned down at Christmas Eve, and he contacted my husband just before they almost killed me, April Fool Day of 80, asking what I knew about the murders. So he knew about the book, and then is when, and I had somebody else called me just before I was almost killed, 2 days before at the most, with what they put in me. So April Fool Day. So if I haven't lost your have, I want to get back to this. So I was in the woods after I left and saw what I saw, Gonzalez and Kathy. And so was I hypnotized or what? I was up there in a dead end. That's where Warren and Rosina Matthews, were they killed later? I don't know. The forensic psychiatrist at Piedmont Hospital. Okay. I remember I couldn't get out. I was in the car running, and I was getting torn, my sweater and clothes. Remember, I had on an outfit that I had. It was Personal by Leslie Fay. And I got raped again, coming from in my book and everything taken. And that was one of the sweaters. And I had, sometimes when I could afford it back then, if I had one outfit and I liked it, or not outfit, but blouse and shirt, I'd get two of them. And that's what happened here. One was a blue, and I don't remember the other one. But that's what happened when I left Ronald Reagan's office in October of 82, and what happened to me, and everything stolen from me, the book, the letters from the FBI, and then later I'm afraid I'm waking somebody up. I'm not waking them up, but I mean, it's weird. People just want to tune it out, like, get away from me. So anyway, I'm telling you what I had on, and it was dark. I'm running, but evidently they had, I don't know, it was four of them. One was black, and one was the guy I thought was Smokey Stover, and I found out recently that wasn't Smokey Stover, the singer. So who, I guess he worked for the FBI, I don't know, but they were going to kill me, and the black guy said, well, you know that Gonzalez is going to, if you don't kill her, if we don't kill her, he'll, I don't remember if he said hurt him or kill. He said, well, I'll deal with him. So a car drove up about that time, and this is dark, and it was right behind the car, these four people's car. And it was getting the license number, and it sat there for a few minutes. So they knew that if they killed me then, that somebody had the license plate and could place them there. So when this car backed up and was pulling out, I managed to get in my car. I don't think they tried to stop me then. and left and went home. And I remember Mark, my son, it was, I don't know what time it was about then, about 10:30 in the night. My son Mark said, "Oh, Mom, where have you been and what's wrong with you?" Because I was just torn my clothes and everything. So then it was a couple of weeks later at the most, I believe, that Gonzalez drugged me with Rohypnol. I knew what was going on. I was taken across from Northside Hospital, near there, medical offices and everything. I was taken to, in his car, and I think he had a Delta. I don't know. Sorry, Sot. Oldsmobile. I'm not sure. Later, they played games with this like Gremlin. And so there's a little gremlin. I'm just giving you a piece of this. If you ever hear the hell and how it connects and everything, what was done. A little gremlin was would be Irish, American, or what's the other one? That was like, oh, I can't think of it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let me get back to that if I can. I can see people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to tune this out. This lady's out there on a limb." Or, no, I'm trying to tell you the truth. I am telling you the truth. And all of it is sad to say, but it is. Okay, I've put this up, so I'm not going to go again. He took me across to College Park, the trolley tracks that were still there in December of 1982. So people would still know it was a little clinic. And he took me in, and I thought, he was dragging me in. And I'm not going, there was people in the little bitty waiting room, and I remember thinking, oh, please, if I could just get them to help me. But then this is a clinic. I mean, people are going to trust the doctors, okay? So it took me back to the very back, and the hallway is not that big, and directly across is a more open room. And there's about 6 doctors, I assume, in scrubs. They're in a kind of a little circle. And I could hear the phone call, the guy who was on the phone back there, I couldn't see. And then behind me here, they had me on the table, laid out on the table, and the doctor behind me, I can't remember if he had on a mask or pulled it off, but he had the phone. And on the phone was Henry Kissenger. This is the Watergate tapes that were subpoenaed and had the gap in it. And the Nixon's office on his phone, and probably with him listening, and with his secretary that became a part of this in the 18.5-minute gap. No wonder they don't want it told. That's the reason I say people should demand, if there's any right in this whole thing, to demand that they reconvene the Watergate hearings, and you hear this. All of it. Anyway, I remember Gonzalez leaning over me, and I was so terrified because I couldn't move. I don't know if I could move my head slightly. I could see out of the corner, or could see. Seemed like I could turn my head because I could see them, the scrubs. And I look back now, and they weren't there to help me at all. So they were there to lobotomize me, and that was Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State, and then Defense under Nixon, that was on the other end of and he's just about the head of the Watergate, not Watergate, he's head of the global government now, the Illuminati, way up there. So good luck getting it into